Christa Drew, and we are in Worcester, Massachusetts. The project that I'm working on primarily right now is called Hunger Free and Healthy, and it's a citywide project to address hunger, obesity, nutrition, food access for the low-income population in Worcester, and we do have a really high poverty rate here. I was actually hired as a consultant 3 years ago to lead the planning of this whole project called Hunger Free and Healthy. It's a grant-funded project, and I work technically, I guess, for the Worcester Advisory Food Policy Council. So it's a council of 50 or so organizations, nonprofits, municipal government, state government, the local school system, faith community, all these wonderful individuals coming together with concerns around food. And we, the council advises our local congressman, Congressman James McGovern, who's pretty much the national champion on hunger. So we're very fortunate to have him be our local congressman. My background is actually in peace studies and conflict resolution. Really have a passion for peace and justice work, and my whole life has really been focused on those realms, and I've worked in a variety of different settings with a variety of different populations, including incarcerated population, post-incarcerated, folks who have perpetrated domestic violence, men in recovery, and the common thread through these populations has been that there's a lot of poverty, and hunger is a symptom of poverty, and so I saw that a lot of these people were struggling to meet their basic needs and to support their families, and so I came at direct service work as a way of addressing hunger about 8 years ago, I guess, and began working at a food pantry, and really through the process of distributing food, really sitting with people and listening to their stories and realizing that, sure, it's important to provide food, but it's not enough. How can we create solutions that are more systemic, more long-standing, more policy-driven? When I started, I was very altruistic and I was very excited. I was going to give out food, and the harder I worked, the more people came, and we're going to get them fresh produce, and I did a really great job, and it was absolutely exhausting. And more people came, and I realized it was a Band-Aid solution, and kind of an oxymoron, but that it wasn't a solution really at all. And so I started to really look at what else is out there. The problem of poverty has been around for a very long time. We haven't solved it, but hunger is a particularly interesting piece in that we have all the resources that we need. We have the knowledge. It was just really seeing the people coming back again and again and again and realizing this isn't going to stop no matter how much food we throw at them. They are lacking the economic means to purchase their own food. I guess since college I've been involved one way or the other with the incarcerated or post-incarcerated population, and I'm very comfortable with people who have committed an offense, and I guess I wish I was still working in that field sometimes now. More directly, I helped to co-found an organization here in Worcester which helps to work with ex-offenders and reintegrating into the community, and to get jobs and to be present to their families, realizing that people have done their time and that often we continue to punish them for years after their sentence. I think I'd like to play a significant role in, first of all, in continuing to elevate awareness around the presence of hunger and the atrocity that it exists in this country and elsewhere in the world, I might mention, but I am focused primarily on the United States and domestic hunger. And I would like to play a role in having it be a focus for our politicians, for our community, for our leaders, and perhaps even changing the prevalence of it. I feel like I live in two worlds because I have an incredible amount of respect and passion for grassroots activity, for residents standing up, organizing and making their voices heard, participating in the local democracy. I also, believe that nonprofit work and community, grassroots, faith-based work is very important in addressing the immediate need today. But what I mean by the importance of policy and focusing on policy is that I think that that's where the change needs to occur, whether it's nationally, state, or even on a municipal level. Some of the policies I'd like to see would affect the local community level, such as policies around what's available for sale in convenience stores, corner stores that are in people's neighborhoods if they don't have transportation to grocery stores, policies in the schools for the nutritious content of the foods. I think the standards that the United States Department of Agriculture has set forth are okay, but could certainly be better in terms of what cereals are we allowing kids to have for breakfast, the sugar content, the fiber content, all of those things. So I think every single person that I've met has changed my perspective and strengthened my belief that we are all human beings and we are more similar than we are different, and that people's individual actions are often a result of the society that they've come from and their own circumstances that they were raised in. Particularly, I think, most recently in working to establish this organization locally, a lot of the founding members are like family to me. Very human, very authentic and real, and have had a lot of struggles, particularly if they've been faced with addiction, and that really being the root cause of a lot of their difficulties with law. And so it's hard for me to, pinpoint just one person. I think just through being able to share the journeys with these men and women and hear their stories and see their courage and their faith. I think I was aware in my upbringing of our commitment to give back when we have been given so much. I was raised Catholic, and social justice is certainly one of the tenets of the Catholic faith, and so I was familiar with service and working with individuals in a variety of different settings. And I think just I give a lot of credit to my parents for being incredibly generous, compassionate, loving people who really gave of themselves their entire lives, and so that was modeled to me, and I just believe that was the way to be in the world. And I feel that I've lived a very privileged life in having the family that I have, and the home that I was raised in, and always enough to eat, and the opportunity to go to college. And so just wanted to be able to give of myself, and believed I was born to serve. So love for other human beings, and wanting them not to suffer, not to struggle with something that's so fundamental to existence. Understanding that there's so many other challenges in life, let this be something that they don't have to worry about, that they don't have to make decisions between whether they're going to feed their children or heat their house. I think, on a personal level with my family and friends, fun-loving, compassionate, loving person. I think more broadly, professionally, you're right. I would like to believe that I've left a legacy, and I've thought of things as potentially grand as Nobel Peace Prize, potentially because of my background in peace and social justice and just my love for social justice and human rights. But I'd love to be able to affect change on a really large scale around hunger and see that people have enough to eat. I can't think of anything more important.